exciting scenes from today's episode of Liberty's Kids.
We are threatened by an excess of democracy, the tyranny of the mob. Our current system of government has turned this country into the disunited states.
We've had 4 years of government under the Articles of Confederation, and they just don't work.
If you think I'll sign a constitution that takes away my state's rights, you're plumb crazy.
It's not a country, it's a circus.
Dear reader, I am in Massachusetts to interview Captain Daniel Shays. He and a lot of other soldiers returned home to their farms when the war ended 3 years ago. But times have been hard. Farmers can't pay their debts. And now the government's closing in to take their land.
You're throwing me in jail because I can't pay my debts? I borrowed that money I owe because the government asked me to, so I could buy more grain to grow more food for our army and the French army. Take your hands off me, sir. And now that there's no more soldiers to feed, I can't sell my produce. And instead of helping me who helped you, you make me sell my farm to pay my debts. And when the money from the sale doesn't cover my debts, you throw me in a cage. Me and darn near every other farmer in Massachusetts. We risked our lives fighting for your freedom.
This is not justice.
Let this country!
We were soldiers.
Order! Order!
Stand for this.
These, James, are what you describe as the fruits of the Continental soldier's courage.
Let me go! It's not fair! I fought for you!
And the state's answer to our honest petition is silence. Or just about.
This won't stand! We must act!
If the courts mean to take away our farms and throw us in jail, maybe we have to close down the courts any way we can.
To the Honorable James Madison, my dear sir, your last letter asked for my opinion concerning the state of our government and our nation. Both, I fear, are drifting towards certain collapse. In Massachusetts, Daniel Shays, a former captain in our army, has led an attack by farmers on a federal arsenal because the government took away their land.
We fought for this country! Give us back our farms!
Farmers in Maryland have mobbed a courthouse in an effort to destroy tax records to avoid paying taxes they consider unfair.
We do this for freedom!
We want our freedom!
Even here in Virginia, citizens destroyed a courthouse out of rage and frustration. We are threatened by an excess of democracy, the tyranny of the mob. Our current system of government has turned this country into the disunited states. I look forward to our convention in Philadelphia. There we will probe our defects to their bottom and provide a radical cure.
Well, General, enough delegates have arrived to begin the convention. The eyes of the world are upon us. Frankly, I've come to the conclusion that unless we throw out the Articles of Confederation and start over, we will not be able to hold our nation together.
This is good news, Doctor. Madison and I intend to use this convention to rebuild the Republic based on a central government stronger than the states. May I count on your support?
You have my word.
Did you hear that? They don't just want to fix the Articles of Confederation, they want a whole new constitution.
Everything's going to change.
Maybe it will, and maybe it won't. There are 13 states that have to agree, and barely any of them have abolished slavery. What's a new constitution going to do about that?
With your permission, Doctor, I'd like to nominate you to be president of the convention.
I'm grateful, General, but the job belongs to you alone. There's not another man in the country who commands half your respect. You're the only one who can hold everyone together.
United we stand, divided we fall.
My old friend James.
Alexander Hamilton!
This is an historic moment, James. As important as when we agreed on the Declaration of Independence. We've had 6 years of government under the Articles of Confederation, and they just don't work.
So what do you think should be done?
You tell your readers that Alexander Hamilton of New York believes in a strong central government.
Connecticut is here to fix the Articles of Confederation and nothing more.
Make no mistake about it, Maryland won't let any of the big states push us around.
Slavery is not the issue at this convention.
But some states have already abolished it.
No southern state ever will. Every man here knows the importance of slavery to the southern economy. You have my word, we will be united on it.
What do you think so far?
I don't know about you, but I don't see how they'll ever agree on anything.
We'd better go in. Let go! This isn't fair!
We're members of the press. Mr. Madison, how are we supposed to cover the convention for our newspaper if we can't go inside?
I believe in a free press, but to succeed in our goals, each delegate must know he can change his mind without public embarrassment. Besides, I'll keep my own notes for the historians.
I'm sorry, but James Madison is right. The delegates need to be left alone to do their work. But I know if I tell you what's happening, you'd never write anything you shouldn't.
Not in a million years!
So what did happen today?
Edmund Randolph of Virginia introduced a plan to scrap the Articles of Confederation and create a whole new form of government. Madison and Washington are the ones behind it. They want to create a government made up of 3 branches. First and foremost, the new Congress would be made of 2 houses, which Madison calls an upper and a lower one. There will be an executive branch headed by some sort of president, and a judicial branch, a kind of Supreme Court, made up of judges who can overrule state courts. It's a system of checks and balances to make sure no branch can dominate any other. That way we'll be protected from a tyranny of the monarchy and of the mob.
Hold on. I understand about the President and Supreme Court, but how many representatives will each state send to this new Congress?
That's the catch, Sarah. Madison wants to throw out the principle of one state, one vote, and base representation on the size of a state's population.
Won't that give all the power to the biggest states like Massachusetts and Pennsylvania?
The small states will never agree to it.
Which will tear the country apart.
I only hope the delegates have as much sense as you do, because if they don't, it's going to be a long, hot summer in Philadelphia.
Virginia, Massachusetts, Pennsylvania, New York. Why shouldn't we in Maryland have a vote equal to you?
Luther, you've been talking for 6 hours straight!
Oh, sit down, Luther.
Let someone else speak!
Why? I haven't even started. Maryland's important too. We have strong, good men. Men who've helped build this nation as much as anyone else has. And we have crabs. Tons and tons of Maryland crabs. Gentlemen, have you ever eaten Maryland crabs? Fresh from the bay, cooked to perfection, with a touch of melted butter. It's perfection itself.
Pennsylvania demands proportional representation.
Connecticut demands 1 vote per state.
If you think I'll sign a constitution that takes away my state's rights, you're plumb crazy. So you Virginians can put that in your pipes and smoke it.
What do you see?
Alexander Hamilton's about to speak. These guards take their job too seriously.
Mr. President, if I may.
Mr. Pinckney from South Carolina has the floor.
Gentlemen, all this talk of Congress is well and good, but unless our southern states